Halloween? Cool? Weird? What's going on with that? I want to talk about some psychological underpinnings and some possible ways to imagine. Halloween is a whole lot of creativity and imagination where weird things are going on. Little children become superheroes, and very sweet people become monsters and vampires. What's up with that? I want to address it two ways. One is the idea of shadow side, and the other idea is about second half of life. So shadow is an idea that Jung came up with where he explores rejected parts of self. We put forward our best self. We put forward our front, and that front is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But the bargain we make is we reject parts of ourself. We hide parts of ourself. And in Halloween, we pull all that forward and we show it off, and it's fun, and we wear masks and hide out, those kind of things. But in shadow side, what's happening is we ignore those things, and they become hidden forces that really are pretty scary. It's the location of our nightmares, and it's the location of our fear of the dark, those things that are scary to us, because there are those truths about ourselves that we reject, and because we push them so far away, they become monstrous and dark. And we try to put forward this really great self. Those pieces get so separated, we get out of balance, we get overtaxed, and a lot of bad things can happen with that. So we need to be in touch with our shadow side, and Halloween is a great way to explain why we put on these masks. We're trying to explore ourselves, be a different part of ourselves. It's a good idea, nothing wrong with it, it's fun. But it does offer some insight to looking at why do we do that, and what is our shadow that we're rejecting. I can give you a whole 2-hour seminar about that if you want to do that. We can do some really cool work about what your shadow side is. The other thing I want to talk about, though, that is about this Halloween night where we put on masks, is the idea of the second half of life. And so in the second half of life, we have this opportunity to change it all up. And what we've done, the first half, is we've chased it. It's looked like achievement. Do I measure up? And we've accumulated stuff and amassed wealth and things. And, we're all worried about our appearance, but, the second half of life, it's time to stop worrying about your appearance because it's sagging a little bit. So that's okay. You got to let go of those ego pieces that were so important in the first half. And in the second half of life, we've got to engage in our true self, our authentic self. It's moving from ego to purpose. Ego-centered living is not good. Purposeful living is good. And we can do that. But the challenge is to get in touch with who am I really, and how do I become my true self. If I've always wanted to, why not? Let's do that. Or we said, when I grow up, okay, let's do that. Let's make that decision to live life the way we want to live life. It's mighty fearful, though, to take that risk, to step out, and a lot of times we don't. But maybe Halloween is our metaphor for, on that one night you dress up to be that shadow side. That's a good exploration of self. But now with this idea of the second half of life, you have the opportunity. How about one day you're normal, and the other 364 you become this super normal self, this authentic, exceptional self. Can you imagine that you truly are the brilliant person other people think you are? That you truly are beautiful? That you have a unique genius that you've never quite lived into? And now's the time. Now's the time to live into that genius. That word comes from the idea of genie, that we all sort of have this sort of magical spirit inside of us, a genie inside of us. And it's very unique to each person. So each person has their own special genius, their own thing to offer. And so instead of dressing up in your daily work clothes, and that's okay, but see if you can imagine living your own true genius, being the authentic person you are, not just on that one night, but let's see if we can just have a normal night one night, and the other 364 are the exceptional times. Kind of like Halloween, and we walk around and we say trick or treat, and we enjoy ourselves, and great things come to us because you're just being yourself. great things flow when you're being yourself. It's that weird thing about the promise or the magic of attraction. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. So as you do this shadow side work, as you do this second half of life work, and this Halloween is this great metaphor that I'm working off of, where we're just playing, but you begin to be who you really are, and things flow. Life works. Things come to you. Actually, you become a conduit of flow. That things flow through you because you're doing what the universe needs for you to do. It's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to be you. So think about that for Halloween and try being the true you. You can do that. Thanks.